How is it going, everyone? Happy, I don't know what day it is, Tuesday. Nick Marro here with Chuck, helping you break down the NBA DFS main slates on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Happy holidays to everyone. I know a lot of us are headed into the Christmas break, Hanukkah break, Kwanzaa break, all that good stuff. But we got an 11 gamer on both sites tonight to hammer through. I'm going to be hosting here with Chuck. I'm going to put on my auctioneer voice or my prescription disclaimer voice, as we were calling it in Discord today. But Chuck, what's your initial takes on this slate? I think there's a lot to like.
Yeah, just a lot of games going today. DraftKings cut off the late games, which usually we don't like, but kind of like it today. On these large slates, I'll say we might be tempted to spread out a little bit, and we probably do want to take a few more shots on some GPP plays if we're building a large set of lineups. But I think if we have some good plays, you actually want to be a little bit more concentrated on these larger slates. So I don't think we need to spread out super hard. I mean, there's tons of players to pick from, right?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I always say on slates like this, like especially someone like me who's more single entry, you should really like the players in your lineup for the most part. If there's some chalk that's cheap, that's I don't know, you're just not feeling it. There should be plenty of pivots, and we'll talk about pivots throughout this video. We're seeing some chalk concentrated, but I'm not saying don't lean into it. I'm just saying pick your spots. But we got cards in here. Heath, Sino, Jeremy Sweet, Luke, appreciate you guys. Would normally bring all the comments up on screen, but we're tight on time today. We got Ben in here as well. Appreciate you guys. But let's get right into the game by game. 7 o'clock window here. We're going to start with my Brooklyn Nets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers favorite at home. One of the lower totals on the slate, just 218.5 points. On the net side of things, Terrence Mann's probable. Ben Suraf back with the team from the G League. He is probable here as well. Other than that, really nothing significant. No Drake Powell or Haywood Highsmith. But yeah, man, not really a spot I'm loving my Nets today. I will say Michael Porter continues to put up numbers no matter the matchup. Usage through the roof right now. I think he's priced about where he should be. But again, if you're looking to get a little bit different, he's got 50-point upside for sub 9K. That checks a lot of boxes for me. Other than that, you could maybe make a case for Claxton Clowney. Igor's been playing well. Don't trust the minutes, though. Wolf, not on an 11 gamer. I love the kid. But yeah, man, it's mostly just MPJ here for me as far as Nets go. How about you?
Yeah, that's the only exposure I currently have to the Nets. I don't think MPJ is projected great around the industry today, so he's going to come in with like minimal ownership, like 1%. So you really don't have to play that much to be over the field on him. I don't think it's a day we want to go nuts on him just because there are so many games. But if you play a couple shares of him, that's enough. And then I'm just not that interested in anyone else there.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. There's just so much to like in that 8 to 9K range. We're going to talk about a lot of plays on the slate that we like more than MPJ. But again, if you're playing a bunch of lineups, he's not a bad way to get a little bit different. Over on the Sixers side of things, Dominic Barlow and VJ Edgecombe, who've both been starting, are going to be out. Joel Embiid, who was on somewhat of a minutes limit, is going to be probable. No Quentin Grimes or Kelly Oubre or Trenton Watford. We currently have Embiid at 30 minutes. I do like him a little bit here. I do think there's other centers, but back-to-back games where he's close to 50 fantasy points, that's kind of what you need at his price. I don't mind going there. At the same time, kind of similar to MPJ, I think there's better plays at the position and in the price range. Maxi's Maxi always has ridiculous upside. Definitely could get to him here. George, who missed the games back. But again, it's really just the studs here. I do like getting to some Embiid if I can. Maybe a little bit of Tyrese Maxey. That's probably going to be it for me. Are you feeling the Sixers here at all tonight?
I wasn't until I saw. Is there a mistake on the model? Because Tyrese Maxey's value score is really high, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Nets defense is terrible. We have him for 39 minutes, which is kind of aggressive. But if he does play 39, I think it's accurate.
Yeah, top OF index too, tied with Jokic. We haven't projected for 39 and a half minutes. That's why it's hard to project guys for really high minutes like that. I think we need to take away a minute or two just in case. He's still going
Yeah,
to
to be
project out
safe.
great, but around the industry, like he's projected for what 6 and 10% ownership. I think this is a spot that we pay up for on the Sixers if we want to take that GPP shot.
Yeah, definitely. And again, 39 and a half minutes is aggressive. He averages around 38, so we might be a bit, excited to get to him here, but I do like him a lot. The one other player I think we do need to quickly talk about is Jared McCain. He is projected to start here. Obviously, no Oubre or Grimes is kind of creating an opportunity for him. At the same time, he's going to be sharing usage with the likes of Maxey and Embiid, going to be on the floor a lot with them. Are you getting to him at all? I mean, I don't mind him at the price. We have him for 31 minutes. If I was confident he'd play that 31, I do think he's a pretty decent play here.
Yeah, 31 is kind of it's a healthy projection. If the problem is if he doesn't play 31, he's going to be way overowned. He did get up to 30 in the previous game, but I don't think we can project him for that. Either way, he's still a little bit too cheap, and even if you took away like 3-4 minutes, he's still going to show up as one of the best values on the day. So maybe he's actually slightly maybe not slightly underowned because it's such a big slate, but on DraftKings at 9% sounds good. On FanDuel, 28% at 4K. It's probably honestly reasonable.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, the kid is talented. We've seen what he's able to do. Shouts out Jayhawk, who's in here. Appreciate you, my man. Luke saying FanDuel's been generous today with free entries and vouchers, so maybe go ahead and check that stuff out, guys. But yeah, let's get into the next game here. We have a lot to talk about. We got the Wizards taking on the Charlotte Hornets here in Charlotte. Looking at a 239.5 point total. Very, very healthy total. Hornets are favored here at home. Starting on the Washington side of things, Marvin Bagley is back. He's available. Bilal Coulibaly is available here as well. No Cam Whitmore. Other than that, pretty healthy team. Yeah, man, the Wizards have been a little bit better lately. I do think this is one of the few matchups where we can rely on them a bit more. Sarr has kind of been the guy this season, but he's still working his way back from injury. Don't know that we could fully trust the minutes. I'll say this about the Wizards. No one's really getting there at all. I think you could make a case for any of the starters. Bub Carrington has been someone we've been mixing in pretty aggressively. He continues to hit value almost every game now that he's no longer on a minutes cap. It's mostly just Bub for me. I don't really see myself getting to anyone else, but it's a great game environment. Are there any Wizards here that are really standing out to you?
I could see taking a couple shots on CJ McCollum, but the only player I currently have in my DraftKings exposures is Keyshawn George at 5%. He's projected for 4, so sounds sounds okay. And then if someone wanted to take shots on Alex Sarr, I know his price is kind of uncomfortable, but he's projected for 0 and 1% ownership. We only have him for 27.5 minutes. Could be a possibility if you're making 150 lines.
Yeah, I don't mind either of those guys. Just so anyone watching knows, there is a world where George starts to come off the bench with this team being healthy if they want to start Middleton, McCall, and Coulibaly. Don't worry about it. He's still going to be in the closing lineup, still going to get his 32-plus minutes. So Keyshawn George, definitely a good play. And again, I don't mind mixing in a little bit of Bub now that he's playing pretty normal minutes. On the other side of things here, we have the Charlotte Hornets. Josh Green is probable. Kalkbrenner out again, as is Mason Plumlee. That was kind of a mess last night once Plumlee slid in the starting lineup. Diabate was still clearly the play there, but definitely took some people off of him. Sexton, who's been out for a long time, is back. He is probable. But yeah, man, front court situation here, regardless of who starts, and I think it's going to be Diabate. Probably want to get some Diabate in our lives tonight. He is center only, which makes it a little bit difficult on FanDuel. Over 50% owned over there, but this is a great matchup for him. We have him for 30-plus minutes. I mean, he checks all the boxes. Other than that, I mean, you can make a case for Bridges, Ball, Miller. It's just, I don't know, on such a big slate, I don't know that any are really standing out at their prices, even in the good matchup. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Concanoopel, but with this team completely healthy, 8K on FanDuel is kind of unplayable. 6,800 on DK is still pretty tough to get to, but it's the Diabate show tonight here in Charlotte. Are you as heavy on him as the field is? And are there any other Hornets that you're going to be prioritizing?
I'm currently heavier than the field on Diabate. It's a little uncomfortable. I mean, like I keep saying over and over again, this is a huge slate, but he got extra run yesterday because Plumlee got hurt. And who's in there to like relieve him today? Who's going to play the backup center minutes? So I think his minutes are just really secure compared to how they were yesterday. So this is actually probably fine ownership for him. And then as for everyone else, I have 2-3% of Con, Brandon Miller, and LaMelo, I guess, but not more than just a couple percent interest in any of those guys.
Yeah, LaMelo's been frustrating. It's like every time we finally count him out, he has one of those huge games, and then it sucks us back in, and then he sucks for another week. So it's kind of rinse, repeat. You can mix him in tonight. I will say on Diabate, he does currently rate as the best value play on both sites. I'm with it. I'm with you, man. I think he's excellent value. I'm more on DK, where you could play two centers, so it's kind of a no-brainer for me, but I really, really do like him there. Moving into the 7:30 Eastern window now, we have the Chicago Bulls taking on the Atlanta Hawks here in Atlanta. A bunch of games at 7:30 Eastern, so just keep that in mind. But a 254.5 point total. This is one of the highest totals we've seen all season. Starting with the Bulls, nobody significant is going to be injured. So this is as healthy as this team has been all year. But at the same time, I mean, this is also the highest total I think we've seen in a game all year. So it's tough not to like these guys. Obviously, Giddey at low ownership makes sense. Kobe White a little bit too cheap for his upside. Buzelis has a ceiling. Vooch, I mean, the minutes have been super frustrating with him, but he's still so cheap that he can get there. We've seen it even in tough matchups like against Cleveland earlier in the week. Man, I think you can make a case for any of the Bulls starters here. I don't know that there's one that stands out to me, though, in particular. How about you?
It's just Vooch, and it's so funny because this dude was down to like 5,600 or 5,800 or something dumb, and the field didn't want to play him. He goes off twice, and now we're all gonna, ride his ownership till he's back to 8K again. But I think he's great. We only have him projected for 13% ownership. That sounds so low to me, I guess, because a lot of it's going to Diabate. But model's telling us he's an awesome value, so that's for sure my favorite play here. Getting to him quite a bit, and then Josh Giddey. Always want to be on Josh Giddey, especially like you mentioned. This is like the highest total we've seen all season.
Oh yeah. Giddy does it all. I mean, stuffs the stat sheet. Always has a triple double threat in his bag of tricks. Over on the Atlanta side of things, Dyson Daniels is going to be out tonight. That's certainly significant. Kristaps Porzingis is out here as well. Gouye out. A few of these other guys, not super significant names. Not going to waste time kind of digging through G Leaguers, but I'm going to pull up Atlanta here. So Trae Young has been back. Seems like he's on somewhat of a minutes cap. We haven't seen him play 30 minutes since he's returned. We have him for exactly 30 tonight. I don't really have a ton of interest in Trey, but just that slight cap on him is enough for me to still want to get to Jalen Johnson aggressively on both sites, more so on DK where he's underpriced at 9,700. Behind Diabate is one of the highest owned plays on the slate. I just think he looks absolutely outstanding here. Over on FanDuel, Alexander Walker underpriced, obviously absorbing a lot of the usage with Porzingis and others out of the lineup. Again, Daniels being out definitely kind of softens the blow of the return of Trae Young. So gotta love Jalen Johnson here. Trae looks okay. I don't know that I can get there just knowing that he could be capped, but Okongwu, Alexander Walker look good. And then sneaky play of the day, maybe Vit Krejci, very scoring dependent, but in a matchup where there's not going to be much defense, that's usually where he does well. We've seen him post 30-point games this season. I mean, they're rare, but if you're looking for something sub 4K to get a little bit different and still get exposure to this game for cheap, I think he checks a few of those boxes. So all over Jalen Johnson here. Like Alexander Walker, more so on FanDuel. Okongwu, fine. Risachet, fine. But sign me up for some Krejci here tonight. How you feeling about Atlanta?
Got a lot of Jalen Johnson. I could not believe the field is projected to play him 46% on DraftKings. I mean, the 25 on FanDuel kind of makes a little bit of sense because he's a little bit higher priced over there. But I mean, I'm with the field. I'm playing a ton of Jalen Johnson. I think he's awesome. We saw him go off when Trae Young came back last time, and then he failed us without Trae Young in the following game. So just hope that he is the stud. But again, huge slate. Like he is the pay up. I haven't projected extremely well today, but there's a lot of pay ups that are projected for no ownership versus Jalen Johnson. So just consider maybe mixing more of those guys in with Jalen Johnson or just in lineups instead of Jalen. And then Nikhil on FanDuel, I think, is the other spot that we want to focus on here.
Yeah. I mean, certainly a lot to like. Again, I don't think we've seen a game with the total this high. Like, do you remember what? 254? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, gotta like this game. So moving into the next game here in that 7:30 window, we got the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. 218.5 point total, so other end of the spectrum. But Milwaukee still missing Giannis and his brother Alex. Torian Prince has yet to play this season. He's still on the injury report here as well. Bobby Portis has been starting lately. I think it's interesting. Back in the day, I mean, we would play this guy every single time Giannis was out. He'd get priced up at 8K if Giannis was out for extended period of time. He is now sub 6K on DK, coming off back-to-back games where he's played 39 minutes. I think Portis today looks really solid here against the Pacers team that's okay defensively in the front court. Nothing special, though. Obviously, Kevin Porter's kind of been the guy to absorb usage with Giannis out more so than Portis this season, but he's priced up pushing 9K, kind of tough to get to. For me, it's mostly just Portis here today, man, but I do like him a lot. I'm curious if this minutes run continues for him. I mean, playing as many as anyone on this team, starting and closing, which is a far cry from where he's been over the first few months of the season. But tough not for me to like Portis if he's starting again. That's pretty much it for me from Milwaukee. How about you there, Chuck?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe this Bobby Portis projected ownership. It seems a little bit low, right? Like, I'm not saying he should be way higher than that, but I don't know. I feel like the field maybe they're worried that he'll fall back out of favor with Doc Rivers or whatever. But I think Bobby Portis is great GPP play, not someone to jam in. But if we can get over this 14 and 12%, I think that's fine. And then I'm over the field on Kevin Porter Jr. every single slate, especially when he's in single digit ownership. I think he's a pretty solid GPP play.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the game logs for him, he's been outstanding. Back-to-back games over 30% usage, pushing 50 fantasy points every time he's out there. So I know I kind of just brushed over him. I'm glad you kind of re-emphasized how quality he's been, though. This is a good matchup for him here as well, in spite of the low total. Over on the Pacers side of things, Halliburton's out, Isaiah Jackson is out, TJ McConnell is questionable, Aaron Naismith is out, Ben Shepherd and Obi Toppin are both out. So this team has been banged up all year. They do run kind of a deeper rotation than most teams, which makes it always a tricky spot to really nail down what we want. I think Nemhard on DK looks fine. I think Jay Huff, who's going to continue to start at center, is okay. More so on DK where he has forward eligibility. Really don't want to play him on FanDuel tonight. But Mather and Siakam have ceilings. I don't know. This is kind of a tough team to get to. It's not like they're healthy, but it's pretty much what we've come to expect from them in terms of minutes, price, rotation. Nothing really standing out to me in this low total game for the Pacers. How about you there, Chuck?
Mathern's price on FanDuel is interesting. That's all I'll say. And then J Huff, when he's at this 5K price, model's telling us he's a decent value today. I don't hate it. It's just tough because we probably do have some better options. But I have a couple percent of J Huff in my 150 set right now.
Yeah, one more name I'll just mention, and it's really a desperation shout. If we do get McConnell out, and not that this affects whether he'll start or not, but if Thompson, starts again, he has upside near minimum price. Just want to kind of bring that name up there. If you're desperate and you're going stars and scrubs, I don't think it's crazy. He's been playing pretty good minutes. But moving on from that game, we have the Pelicans taking on the Cavs here. Cavs, decent-sized favorites at home, 248.5-point total. Pretty healthy spot for both teams. Over on the Pelican side of things, Herbert Jones is out. DeJounte Murray is out. Poole, who's been back, is now questionable. I don't know, man. This team's tricky. They're bringing Zion off the bench now, which is kind of funny. He's been playing well, but the minutes haven't really been there to want to pay his price consistently. Sadiq Bey getting some love today at his price. I think he's kind of inconsistent with this team, relatively healthy. Obviously, Derek Queen, Trey Murphy, these guys have upside, but against the Cavs, even with the high total, I'm having some trouble getting here. Maybe that's an error on my part, though. I will say if Poole's out, I'll feel a little bit better about someone like Fears, but right now, just not a team I'm super heavy on. Maybe that total is telling me I should be, though. Are you getting too many Pelicans?
I'm not getting too much. I have GPP interest in Sadiq Bey, Derek Queen, and Trey Murphy. It's really hard to get to anyone else. I mean, Jeremiah Fears is interesting, but his role he gets kind of pushed out with Zion and pullback. Did you know the Pelicans have the best offense in the NBA over like the last 3 weeks or something?
Yeah, it's absurd. I don't know.
Like Zion
I
off the
mean,
bench.
but by what metric, I guess, is my question. But yeah, I mean, they have been better lately for sure.
Like Zion off the bench works. It's the most ridiculous thing. I don't see if they're. I don't think they're going to do a long term. I don't think we can play Zion until he comes down in price a bunch. But yeah, this team is just deep shot GPP plays. I think.
Yep, I'm with you. And I will say this, if Poole is out, he's currently questionable. There is a world where Zion ends up starting. He's still going to be on a minutes cap, though, so not like we'd be getting there all that aggressively anyway. On the Cleveland side of things, no Lonzo Ball. Darius Garland's questionable. Evan Mobley is still out. That's the biggest piece of news here, obviously. Max Strus out as well. Cleveland's been pretty good lately, but it's like we either get one of Mitchell or Garland out most of the time. Tonight, Garland's questionable. If he's out, Mitchell is going to look excellent here in a really good matchup. Herb Jones, one of their better on-ball defenders, also being out for the Pelicans makes this matchup even more appealing. Not that I'd be afraid to play Donovan Mitchell against the Pels anyway. Jared Allen's been kind of boomer bust with Mobley out. He does have more of a ceiling than he does with Mobley in, but at the same time, there's some really good center value on the slate. Chuck, sorry, I almost called the Jayhawk. I just saw his name in chat. But how you feeling about Cleveland here taking on the Pels?
Man, I was hyping up Jared Allen yesterday, and he was on pace to smash, and then he picked up 3 fouls in the first half, and I didn't see what happened, but I think he lost like 2 rotations in the second half, so that was a disaster. I still think he's okay to take GPP shots on. The 6,900 price and being a center is really tough, though. Garland went off yesterday. Donovan Mitchell went off. I think they're both just fine GPP plays. No one here is really a priority.
Yep, I'm with you. Again, if Garland's out, I think Mitchell becomes very, very appealing. So we'll definitely want to just keep an eye on that. Speaking of chat, just going to touch on a few comments quickly here. We got Swerve saying he needs a new set of gifts, so let's get it tonight. Diabate or Huff, Luke. I think I could speak for Chuck and say Diabate. It's definitely the pick for me. We'll talk about Reeves in just a minute. Good thing we got Chuck here, our resident Lakers fan. And then 32 punt on DK. Would you prefer Agbaji or Huck Porty? I mean, I'd be rebuilding, honestly. Do you have an answer to that one there, Chuck?
Same answer as you. I would try to find a different lineup construction.
Yeah, I try to find 100 for Taylor Hendricks if you have to go that cheap. But if not, Kevin, maybe try to move some things around. If we had to pick, though, it's Akbaji. He's probably going to start. Speaking of Akbaji, next game we have here, appreciate the segue. We got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Miami Heat in Miami, 227.5 point total. Starting on Toronto, no RJ Barrett, no Jakob Podol, Sandro Mamukshvili. Before we had the news in Charlotte was going to be the chalk center tonight, I still like him a lot. I do want to get some exposure to him. He's been playing really well. Just trying to pull up Toronto here in the model real quick. But yeah, Sandro's price hasn't really moved. And on DK, he has forward eligibility. We have him for 28 minutes. He's been excellent. I like him a lot here. Obviously, quickly, Ingram, Barnes all look good. Still no RJ Barrett. Not that one is standing out ahead of the other, but I think you could mix all three of them in. And yeah, we got the question about Agbaji. I don't know that I'm getting there tonight. Chuck, how do you feel about the Raptors?
Let me double check. Yeah, Mamu would be more interesting if he was a little bit cheaper, but as it is now, he's kind of just like an expensive pivot, I guess, to whatever other centers we're talking about. I think Brandon Ingram is the guy I'm still interested in here. The 7,800 price on DraftKings is nice, and then Scotty. I'll take GPP shots on Scotty, and quickly, I guess, like every slate. So I think they're fine to mix in.
Yeah, it quickly does kind of get overlooked. Obviously, Ingram and Barnes put up bigger numbers consistently, but point per dollar, I do think quickly might be the easiest to get to tonight here on both sides. But any of those three are fine. And again, Sandro, where you have the forward eligibility on DK, he still looks pretty good here, even with some of this other center value we have opening up. Speaking of center value, we will talk about the Miami Heat now. Kel'el Ware has been starting because Tyler Hero is still out. Jaime Jaquez is available. No Nikola Jovic or Pele Larson. Davion Mitchell, Norm Powell are available. Terry Rozier appealing some sort of charge. He's out. I don't know why he's still on the injury report. Drew Smith is available. Andrew Wiggins is available. Miami continues to put their whole team on the injury report and make me look like an idiot every slate. But regardless, man, Kel'el Ware has been starting with Hero out. Obviously, they play different positions, but he has been an absolute monster. He looks great here tonight. Really do like getting to him. I'd rank Diabate ahead of him, but he's probably the number 2 center for me over on DK. On FanDuel, at his price, he is tougher to get to point per dollar, but you have forward eligibility for him over there. 3 straight games where he's pushing 50 fantasy points. Kel'el Ware looks excellent to me. Other than that, this team's getting a little bit healthier than they were, even with Hero out. Don't mind taking shots on Powell, Bam, Mitchell, Hawkins, even Wiggins, but Kel'el Ware is kind of the guy here for me. He's just been awesome. Assuming he continues to start, going to keep going back to that well. How do you feel about Miami here hosting the Raptors?
Yeah, that 5,900 price for a Ware on DraftKings, it's incorrect. The field's getting there 20% of the time. I think we can get there a little bit more. And even the 7,100 on FanDuel, it's a little harder because of how large the slate is. But like plays like that, I usually think are okay to take GPP shots on. You're paying up a little bit more to be contrarian, which with the ceiling he showed us is great. And the FanDuel value on the model is still really good for him. And then I'll just mention I'm willing to lose some more entry fees on Norman Powell tonight. The model keeps telling us he's a good play. I keep playing him a ton more than the field. He hasn't been doing it, but we're going to go right back to him and hope that he does.
Yeah, I do like Powell. I mean, I do get to him often. I mean, he seems to have a ceiling of 40, which at his price is pretty good. And he has guard and forward eligibility on both sides, so he's just such an easy building block. Depending on what you're looking to do at the other positions, just makes things easy. So definitely with you on that one. But Kel'el Ware is certainly the prize here. And again, even on FanDuel, where he's expensive, I think he's a bit underowned. So as long as he continues to start, keep going to that well. Now we are into the 8 o'clock window. First game here at 8 o'clock, we have the Denver Nuggets taking on the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. Denver is a slight favorite on the road. Still no Christian Brown. Still no Aaron Gordon. Joe Val and Peyton Watson are both probable. There's too much center value for me to really get to Jokic here. I will say he looks tremendous on paper, obviously massive upside. If you can find a way, there's always a reason to play him. Obviously, massive ceiling for him. Jamal Murray is having one of the best seasons statistically of his career. I think he's easier to get to. I do like him at reasonable ownership. You can mix in guys like Johnson, Watson, even Hardaway or Brown if you're desperate for value. But I can't sit here and say there's one guy really standing out to me for Denver. I think they're about priced where they should be. Things have kind of adjusted now that Gordon and Brown have been out for more than a week. So how do you feel about the Nuggets here in Dallas? Is a decent game environment. I think Jokic is under owned, but it's more a product of the best value on the slate being its center.
Am I right in that Dallas has one of the worst defenses in the NBA?
You are, but AD missed like a month, so I think that's a little bit skewed.
Okay. Okay. Because like Cameron Johnson, I usually don't want to play him, but he's under 5K on DraftKings, only 6% ownership. He's model approved at a 15.1 value, so I actually don't mind getting over on him. I'm always going to be over on Peyton Watson, and I'm actually getting to like 30% Jokic on DraftKings right now. I was a little surprised on my early run. So love Jokic and Jamal Murray. If you can somehow get to him, I think he's great too.
Yeah, they look good here. They run a tight rotation, especially with these guys out. Just a pretty easy team to justify getting to. Over on the Dallas side of things, this isn't our first Cooper Flag slate together, but we got one again here tonight. Max Christie is doubtful. Exum is out. Kyrie obviously out. Lively out. Dwight Powell out. Klay Thompson doubtful. PJ Washington questionable. Brandon Williams questionable. Anthony Davis's price on DK needs to come up. It's almost frustrating to me at this point that I have to play him every single night because 9,400 for him with forward eligibility. I mean, it's just wrong. Really, really do like AD here, even against Jokic and the Nuggets at home. For those who don't know, Chuck and I had a preseason bet on Cooper Flag. I am about as bullish on this kid as anyone because I'm a Nets fan. I was really diving into his season at Duke last year, getting myself hyped up, and then the Nets fell to the 8th pick and got Igor Gilman. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, we've had some fun chatter about Flag in the Discord and the company Slack, but I do like him here enough to maybe play him a little bit. It's just not the best matchup. I think he's priced where he should be. Doesn't really stand out on an 11-game slate. I wish we had more time to talk about him today, but if PJ Washington's out, I do think he's going to become a bit more appealing, but assuming this team's as healthy as they are, nothing other than AD really standing out to me. I mean, we like Nemhard, but Williams has been playing more minutes even off the bench lately, so kind of tough to figure out that guard rotation. But AD on DK just mispriced. Have to keep going back to him until he's closer to 10K. How do you feel about Dallas here?
Yeah, so I made the Cooper Flag bet way more complicated than it should have been, but it's basically I have under 36.5 DK points average by the end of the year, and Nick has over it. And I did last week already ask you what color Cooper Flag jersey you want. I've conceded I'm probably going to lose that bet. He looks way better than I expected him to. I actually want to get there tonight. He's only 2% owned and 7,400 on DraftKings, and even at 8,500 on FanDuel, he's not a good play, but he's 1% owned, and he gets the extra point for blocks and steals. He seems to be okay, and he can hit that stock variant, so I don't mind it. But AD at 9,400 on DraftKings, we're only getting him at 12%. I wouldn't be surprised if he came in a little bit higher, considering he was the slate winner yesterday. But model tells us he's fine at 9,400. Power forward eligibility seems pretty good. If they're going to keep this game within 6.5 points, the total's fine. I like AD.
Yeah, and I will say this about Denver, as good as they are, I mean, they're not the same juggernaut on the road. That's just kind of been a thing. So I can see this game being pretty competitive, at least to the point where we're getting the minutes we're projecting these guys for. So love to hear you're on Cooper tonight, man. And yeah, going into Christmas, he's already pushing that number. The first few weeks where he's playing point guard was definitely holding my breath, but J Kidd said that was all a part of the plan. Whether we believe him or not is a conversation for another day. Another game here at 8 o'clock. We have the Knicks taking on the Timberwolves, 229.5 point total. Timberwolves are favored at home. Starting with the Knicks, though, some big injuries here. No Jalen Brunson, no OG Anunoby, still no Shemet or McBride. So I know Smitty had a takedown a couple nights ago with him. I've been playing a ton of this kid. Tyler Kolek probably going to get the start here at point guard, looking like one of the better value plays on the entire slate. I think he rates right behind Diabate as one of the best point per dollar on both sites. If he starts, and even if he doesn't, I think I want to have all the Kolek in the world here. He looks absolutely excellent. Karl Anthony Towns historically has had bigger games with Jalen Brunson out. I'll say this about him tonight. I think there's a lot of guys in that price range that we like. We've already talked about a few. We're going to talk about LeBron here in a minute. I do like Cat, but I'm more comfortable getting away from him than I am Kolek. Obviously, they're thousands of dollars apart, so that's a big part of it there as well. But Bridges looks fine. Hart looks good. I think he's under-owned comparatively to Mikal Bridges. It's kind of crazy to me. He's like a third of the ownership on both sides. So I like Hart. I like Towns. I like Bridges. I love Tyler Kolek here. How you feeling about the Knicks on the road in Minnesota?
Real quick, back to Dallas. Ryan Nemhard and Najee Marshall are two really good lower-owned value plays.
Nice. Yeah, Najee's been great. And Nemhard, I mean, yeah, he's been good as well. So good shouts there. That game does have a high total, so maybe getting more, especially if you're playing Joker, getting to those guys for a little bit of correlation, I think makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah, Nemhard's a good pivot off this guy, Tyler Kolek, projected for 55% ownership. You'll never guess, but I have more than that. I'm pretty comfortable playing all of him. If Smitty was on here, I'm pretty confident he would say the same thing. He's pretty cheap, 3,800. I think that's a spot that we really want to focus on here. And then Cat, honestly, he seems a little bit too low owned to me. The model's not saying he's a super value, but I think he's fine. And Mikal Bridges, the model is saying he's pretty much a super value in that mid range. So we like those ownership numbers on him too.
yep. And for those who are value hunting, Diawara probably gets the start. That's a no for me. I just wouldn't play him. I don't think he's in the closing lineup. He hasn't done anything with his minutes, so maybe just avoid that one. If you really want value here, it would be Jordan Clarkson or Mitchell Robinson off the bench. But again, get your cat into lineups, get some Hart, Bridges, and Kolek. They all look excellent, even in a pretty tough matchup against the Timberwolves, who are going to be without Joe Ingles and Jaden McDaniels. Really no significant injuries for them other than McDaniels. I don't know, man. I think they look pretty good here. Again, another team that's pretty much priced where they should be. Anthony Edwards obviously has upside. I mean, you could justify playing him, but there's other guards we really like. Randall, to me, again, priced where he should be. Gobert's been better lately, but priced where he should be. We have so much value with center. There's a case to be made for some of these Timberwolves, but I don't know that I'm going to be the one to make it, Chuck. Will you here at home against the Knicks?
I don't think it's a great one, but Julius Randle is kind of a sick pivot off of Cat at a fraction of the ownership. Anthony Edwards seems fine to take GPP shots on. And then I don't know if it's you or Smitty that's talked me into liking Rudy Gobert lately, but I really like him as a GPP play. Model says he's great today, 5 and 1% ownership. I'll get there. I'm not sure about Mike Conley. Usually not really excited to play him.
Yeah, I think both of us have been on him pretty aggressively. The rebounding for him has just improved a lot. I don't know if it's something that's going to continue. You would think he'd be an elite rebounder his whole career, but he's been kind of streaky. But right now, 18, 14, 16, 14, like he's just been crushing the boards. Excuse me. So I do like him here. Randall's kind of been given more boards up to him, I think, a little bit. But again, we're dealing with small samples of data. Regardless, I think if you're playing a bunch of lineups, Gobert does make some sense to mix in. All right, we are into the 8:30 window now, making really good time today. Everyone, again, appreciate you being here. Try to get to questions, do our dummy builds in the next few minutes. But first, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Thunder favorites on the road here. Not the widest spread, 233.5-point total. AJ Mitchell is going to be out, as is Jalen Williams with an eye. Aaron Wiggins is questionable. Team's kind of healthy at the same time. I mean, I don't know. Whenever we get OKC in a competitive matchup, I think we kind of have to consider them. We had a game last night, was it, with Holmgren and Hartenstein out? They're both going to be back in here. I don't know, man. I think, again, this team's kind of priced where they should be. You can make a case for anyone. I don't know that it's a strong one, though. Obviously, SGA has a ceiling. Jalen Williams has seen more usage than I think he did last year, but at his price, he still doesn't really stand out to me. Is there anything for OKC that you're prioritizing tonight?
No, and I think we mentioned Jalen Williams yesterday too, talking about he has not done it this season, and he's not really like come close to doing it. He did it once, I guess, but if he was like 1% owned, I'd be okay taking shots. But 3 and 7% owned is not nothing on this slate. I'm not really interested in much here. Maybe just SGA.
Yeah, the thing is, when he first came back from injury, they were like trying to feed him. So the usage rate, I think, is higher, but it's a mirage to your point. He's not really doing a ton with it. And SGA, who we haven't seen the huge ceilings out of him earlier in the season, he's coming off 3 straight games, right around 60 fantasy points. So maybe that pendulum starting to swing back in his direction, excuse me. But nothing that really stands out for OKC when they're 100% healthy. Over on the Spurs side of things, they got a bunch of G Leaguers here to parse through. Wemby is questionable. I don't know if we've had news on that. Have you heard anything today? Is he going to be in or out?
I don't think I saw an update on that.
Okay.
Let me see.
And yeah, even if he's in, he is on a minutes cap, and that's enough to not want to pay up for him on a massive slate. Stephon Castle's kind of been the guy lately. Really ridiculous usage for him. He's been scoring in bunches, outplaying De'Aaron Fox for a bit of a discount. Their prices are now much closer, so I think there's a bit more of a conversation to be had between one or the other. But tonight, against one of the best defenses in the NBA, I really just don't have a lot of interest in the Spurs. I will say if Wemby's out, you're desperate for a pivot at center. Kornet has shown a ceiling, but it's just not for me, someone only playing a handful of single-entry lineups. Is any of these Spurs getting into your lineups here tonight? I just don't know that I could really recommend anyone with confidence.
I currently have 0% exposure to this team, but I'm interested. I'm always interested in Stephon Castle. It's really hard to get him into lineups today, though. I don't think it's bad to take a few shots on like people from this team, though. They're 7-point dogs, but I mean they did just beat OKC to kind of go to the Cup championship, right?
Yep.
So
Semifinals. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is going to be like the great rivalry in the NBA over the next few years, and it's kind of already gotten started. I don't think anyone here like stands out at all for DFS, though. It would just be taking a shot that someone has a really good game.
Yeah, again, they're healthy. They're priced where they should be. Sure, someone could have a big game, but it's tough to identify that ahead of time. Moving into the 9 o'clock window here, we get the Lakers taking on the Suns. Glad to have you on stream today because Luka Doncic is going to be unavailable, and Reeves, who's missed a few games with a calf injury, is back. First question is, what are we going to see out of Reeves in terms of minutes? Rui and Gabe Vincent are also out tonight. But yeah, man, I mean, usually when Luka's out, we play all the Reeves. Are we playing all the Reeves tonight? The field certainly isn't. He's sub 9K. I do like him here. I just don't know what to expect out of his minutes. Ayton, who's been out, is back. LeBron has been playing better. I do like him a lot. But I'd like him even more if I knew Reeves' minutes were going to be capped. So are you with the projections here? We have Reeves right at 33 minutes. I don't know what to expect. Calf injuries are dicey for sure. What's your takes here on your Lakers?
It's tough, man. I still have Reeves projected pretty well. I'm over the field on him, and I have not been into LeBron this year, but I don't know. I've been watching the games lately, and he does look pretty good for being an old guy. 7% ownership at 9,500. That's fine to take shots on. He is a little bit expensive, I guess, but Jake LaRavia was the guy that I'm getting the most of here. Still not too much, just low teens in the ownership, but I think he's probably still okay at 46 and 4,300, even with Reeves back.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Ravia. He was actually my first dummy build today, and a big part of it is the rebounding and assists have gone up for him. When he first came to the Lakers, he was kind of scoring dependent. We're seeing the LaRavia we saw back with the Grizzlies now, a guy who kind of does it all. He can also get a few stocks, so boosting the floor for him. We know the minutes are there, definitely goes a long way. Like that call a lot, but yeah, man, it really comes down to the minutes for Reeves. We did have a question earlier. Yeah, Brandon said he expected him to be, or that's Smitty, right? He said he thinks he's going to be chalk. Man, I think people are a little bit afraid of the minutes, but if he's this low owned, we definitely got to get over the field, right?
Yeah, I mean, he has shown that he has a ceiling as high as anyone in the league. 8,600 on FanDuel is kind of interesting.
Yep. So, again, I like LeBron. I do like Reeves. If these ownerships hold, though, I think we got to get a lot of Reeves into our tournament builds. Over on the Sun side of things, Grayson Allen is out. Jordan Goodwin is available. And Jalen Green, who's probably going to be out for a long time, is out here as well. Again, another team that's mostly healthy. We've seen Colin Gillespie starting at point with Allen out. He's been pretty good. I don't mind getting to him. I do think the price isn't as forgiving as it has been on him a little bit earlier in the season. You and I always talk about Dylan Brooks and how he's going to take a million shots. Sure, you could get to him again here tonight. Like the volume for him. I also like that he has guard and forward eligibility over on FanDuel at just 6K. 6% for him feels a little bit too low. Booker's Booker. I mean, the ceiling's there, but I think there's other guards in that range I'm going to prefer to play. How are you feeling about Phoenix here hosting your Lakers?
I was cracking up. You said Jalen Green's going to be out for a long time. It sounded so ominous. I don't know. I'm looking at Jordan Goodwin, Colin Gillespie, Dylan Brooks, obviously, and Devin Booker's so comfortable taking a backseat to Dylan Brooks these days. It's really hard to, he just doesn't have that where he's going to take over and just go off. He could, obviously, still, but I don't think he's someone we want to target at all. The role players all seem pretty fine to me, though. Our defense is bad, dude. The Lakers, we're bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is a low total, honestly, especially with Luka out. I think that kind of favors this game speeding up a little bit. So if you're looking for a bet tonight, maybe at the over on Lakers Suns. I do like that. That is, oh no, we got one more game here. We get the Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz here in Utah. 242.5 point total. Memphis on the road. Nice long injury report to get through. We got Clark out, Coward questionable, Edey, Jerome, Conchar, Morant, Pippen all out. Vince Williams Jr. also going to be out. Cam Spencer, he has been a beast. He has shooting guard eligibility. He's certainly my favorite play here from Memphis. I like him a lot. Jock Landale projected to start at center. He hasn't been, though, so I don't know if that's really going to hold. Regardless, I mean, the front court's been playing well, whether it be Jackson or Aldama or Landale night to night. You got to kind of pick one of the three, I think, for the most part, but Jaren Jackson has kind of returned to form, I'll say. Aldama a little bit easier to get to as he is cheaper. Wouldn't want both in the same lineup, but I do think they both look pretty good here. But for me, it really is Cam Spencer. He's chalky, but I think he should be. Just takes a ton of shots, playing really well. Good court vision. I like this kid a lot. Get into a lot of Cam. How about you as far as Memphis is concerned here in Utah?
Dude, the last couple of times Camp Spencer, his projection has made me go, what? But I kept it and I played a ton of him and he's been doing it. The model's still telling us he's a really good value at the 6,300 and 6,600 price. And I don't even care that he's 30%. Like he's like, how is it that he's the most appealing player to target from this team? It's kind of insane, but I love him and I don't mind taking shots on Jock Landale. I think we definitely should if you're building a bunch of lineups today.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And if Coward's out, that usage for Spencer can go up. Spencer's been doing it. He's hitting value with like a 22% usage, which is kind of low for a guy who's kind of leading the team. So keep an eye on that. If Coward's out, we'll like him even more. The field's getting there, though, so we're not really any different than anyone else today. On the Utah side of things, though, no Nurkic or Laurie. That's going to be significant. Still no Walker Kessler, obviously. Yeah, man, Filipowski, I think, is going to get the start here at the 5. And the good news for us is I just clicked the wrong team, is that he has forward eligibility, I believe, on both sites. Yep. So you could play those value centers. You could play Diabate, and you could still get Filipowski in there. My favorite play for the Jazz, Keontae George looks excellent here as well. Now that he's priced in the 8K range, it's a bit more of a conversation because there's a lot of good plays in that range, but in such a good game environment, he's definitely one of them. I really do like him here a lot. Taylor Hendricks probably gets the start at the 4. He's dirt cheap. I don't have a ton of interest, if I'm being honest. Sensabaugh off the bench looks okay, but Isaiah Collier has been the guy running this second unit, and on DK at 4,300, really, really appealing piece of value, especially if you're looking to build into the late games. Maybe you're waiting for some news to break, anything like that. I do think Collier off the bench is really interesting, but my favorite play here is Filipowski, followed by George. Collier, I'm fine mixing in, though. I mean, Bailey, he could take a ton of shots, but at his price, I'd rather go down to Collier, if I'm being honest. How do you feel about Utah?
With Hendricks, the 25% doesn't seem too bad to me, even on this huge slate. I kind of get why optimizers are going to jam him in today. I don't think he's the worst, and the model's telling us he's fine. And just we have him projected for 22 minutes. Not a guarantee he plays 22 minutes, so it is a bit fragile. And then I'm on board with everyone else here. I was hoping Keontae was going to come in lower owned because he didn't crush yesterday, but still love Keontae. Isaiah Collier seems fine. And Filipowski seems fine too at his ownership.
Yeah, it is interesting with Hendricks. I think Sensabaugh, even coming off the bench, could outplay him and end up closing over him, in which case I'd rather have Sensabaugh. And then Kevin Love has just been kind of I don't know, a wrench in the machine of things here in Utah. He's had a few big games. I don't know that I want to play him, but it does give me some hesitance playing the bigs here other than Filipowski. But regardless, pretty appealing game environment, obviously, with Laurie and some of these other guys out. I'm going to take a quick look at chat here, guys, and then we are going to get into these dummy builds, making pretty decent time. You're on double duty today, Chuck. I'll try not to go too much longer. We got some questions here. Jokic, utility or C? Yeah, Teddy, you're probably playing Diabate with him. I like Khalil Ware, better point per dollar if you're playing cash, but good tournament play. Do we like Herder? I'll let you answer that one, Chuck. Probably coming off the bench with Chicago healthy, but that total's ridiculous.
Which one was that?
Kevin Herter for the Bulls against his former team in that 250-point total game.
Oh, I didn't even think about him today. He's like you said, he's fine. No one's thinking about him today. So if you get a few percent of him, just if you're only building 1 or 2 lineups, it's super uncomfortable. But if you're willing to take that high risk, then much better if you're building a set of lineups, though.
Yep, ripping through a few more questions. Thoughts on fading Diabate and Sandro on FanDuel? Yeah, one center spot, you could definitely do it. Cam him time from Rocket Sauce. Chuck, how much of the last game, that Utah game, do you have? And I think Jose here is looking for priorities. I'd say Filipowski and Spencer are the priorities for me, but is there anyone else who's making their way into most of your builds?
Yeah, Cam Spencer, number 1. And then I think Keontae is my number 2 priority. And then I'll say Filipowski and Hendricks. But I do have more Hendricks than Filipowski. I don't know if I'm going to find a way to get rid of that before the slate locks. And then I have a bunch of Collier too.
Yeah, I'm with you. We had some questions about favorite, I don't know, pay ups for low ownership. I mean, Maxey looks great in the model. If you could get to Jokic, Donovan Mitchell, especially if Garland's out, it's another one. But let's get to the dummy build now, man. Starting over on DK, I mean, Diabate, I'm putting in first. I like Jokic, but I think Hillel Ware at his price is just impossible to get away from. I'm going to throw him in here quickly for the sake of
Yep.
time. Um, Feel free to throw some more names at me.
Ware, Kolek, Diabate, Cam Spencer
Kolek's
are
a
my top
must. Yeah, I
four.
like Kolek. I'll go Cam Spencer.
I want to get Tyrese Maxey in there just because he's like the top play on the model very clearly today.
Yep, I like it. I'm fine with it.
And Jalen Johnson or Cat, can we make one of them fit? Or
Oh yeah, I
Anthony
think we got
Davis?
to go Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, 5K per. We got to go kind of cheap for these next two, but I do like this build a lot where it's going.
I mean, Bobby Portis.
Portis, yeah. I was going to say Portis or Filipowski. I think either way, you're good. 4,400 for a forward. This might get a little ugly, but Kevin Herter. Let's answer the question. We got him right there. Honestly, he might be the best of this group. I don't mind it. Again, high total game. You could also go to Sensabaugh there. Again, I think he's a pretty good pivot off of a chalkier Hendricks. So nice little build over here. Quickly on FanDuel now. Same deal. Who are you starting with at center? Is it going to be Diabate?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just he has to. There's so many centers. You know, if someone puts up a 50+ game, then you're probably going to want them. So I think we want to mix it up a little more on FanDuel than we are on DraftKings at center.
Yeah, I agree. I think first build he's in there. I'm going to put in a few of the obvious ones. We got Kolek, Filipowski. We'll go to Cam Spencer again, who I really like. I don't know. Throw some names at me, man.
We could try Maxi again. All right.
Yeah.
We have room. Can we fit him in?
Yeah, let me see. I would have to move Spencer to shooting guard, but yeah, easily. Then I'm going to go Alexander Walker.
Yep.
I think he's too cheap over here. We got a lot of salary now. I don't know, LeBron
Yeah.
or
LeBron.
Reeves. Which of the two do you prefer?
LeBron. I guess.
LeBron's a little safer with the minutes. I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Laravia for value.
Ooh, now we could pay up for the next power forward.
Bobby.
And we are in a nice range here.
Sadiq Bey.
I mean, we got salary left, but it'd probably be Cat to start, and then we maybe upgrade Spencer
okay.
or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think
And
this is good.
maybe you can slide Jalen Johnson in there. Rotate some.
Yeah, Jalen's up over 10-5, I think, but I do like him a lot. I mean, we both like Castle. I think you throw him in as a way to get different. No one seems to be playing him. McCain and Jabari Walker is starting. Yeah, be careful with Jabari Walker. I think McCain's fine, probably over-owned. But yeah, you're on double duty today, man, so I want to get you out of here with a few minutes. We're already a couple over, but I think we made good time for an 11 gamer. Again, appreciate you guys. I am gone until after Christmas. I'll be back Friday. I know Chuck and Smitty got a Christmas show coming for you as well. But Chuck's going to be in the Discord, so check out links to get in there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any last thoughts, Chuck, before we get out of here?
No, just Smitty and I are going to pre-record a Christmas video. I guess if you have any questions that won't be necessary to have super updated ownership, just something about the slate, throw it in the Discord and we'll talk about it in the video.
Absolutely love it. Looking forward to that slate. And I know the guys got NFL going as well, so definitely check out the channel over the holiday break. Enjoy your time with friends and family. Appreciate everyone. Stay safe out there. Have fun tonight. Take care. Good luck.